Good morning, good morning, good morning. What's going on, people? I know I dropped that bombshell on y'all last week, huh? Well, we at Whataburger, and we actually gonna do some actual breakfast stuff, yo. We got some biscuits and gravy, cheddar biscuit with gravy, old sausage gravy here, and we got some hash brown sticks, and we got some breakfast burritos and some coffee. Look at that, yo. We got breakfast food for y'all today. Could actually review this if I wanted to because I haven't reviewed any of this. But we're not. We're here just to talk. So if you missed the big announcement last week, Big Red is running for president of these United States of America. So, get out and vote. Let's go ahead and get this here biscuit with sausage gravy, yo. I forgot to get my napkins. The sausage gravy's good, yo. What's going on, Big Red? Big Red's running for president there. Big Red is running for the presidency of this here United States of America. That's right, brother. Big Red for 2020, making America see clearly. I can see clearly now that Big Red is president. Figured I'd get a little actual breakfast food in me. So what's going on in the world of Jersey, brother? I appreciate the support there, Blake. Well, I'm going to call you Balake.
That way you'll know what to do. 2 or say.
Cheddar jalapeno biscuit with white sausage gravy. You don't go wrong with that. Good morning. Look at my friend Georgette's on here. I went to school with Georgette. Been knowing Georgette for years. And hopefully I could count on her to vote for me for president again. Because Big Red is running for president. So when you go in that ballot booth, you could see all the jokers listed, and then you could just type in my name. I do it every year. I voted for myself since Baby Bush's second term or second run at the presidency. So let's see, I voted for myself that election, the two Bitch Bomber elections, and I voted for myself instead of the Big Oompa Loompa. One time I actually got 14 votes because I had friends actually vote for me and they took pictures of it and sent it to me. Thought that was kind of funny. So good morning to you guys. So yeah, I think would you rather a common man run your country or some crooked ass politician who's been milking the system for years, or a businessman who's so goddamn rich he's not in touch with reality or in touch with the general populace. You know what I mean? I know the struggles of the real man. I live them. Let's face it, most of these schmucks that run for political office, they don't do it for the money because the president don't make that much money. I think he makes what? I think the last time I heard it was something like $225,000 a year. Which, I mean, to me, that's a lot of money. But to them, that's pocket change. They do it for the power. They do it for the arrogancy of it. Don't get it twisted. And politicians don't give a shit about you. So, one of the things I would push for would be there's term limits on the president. Put term limits on the senators. Put term limits on the House representatives. If you ain't doing your job, get them the hell out of there. You know what I'm saying? And whenever they threaten to close down the government because these two sides, you got the Democrats and you got the Republicans, and they can't agree with shit. So when they threaten to close down the government because they can't pass a law or a bill or some kind of budget, you know what? Guess what? You don't get paid for that day. But you got Democrats, you got Republicans, you got socialists, you got communists, you got the Tea Party, the tea baggers. When did we just stop being Americans? You know what I mean? So let's just be Americans. We need all this other crazy stuff. Take care of America first. Take care of your American vets first. And they're the ones out there putting their life on the line so we could live. I mean, let's face it, we don't live free. We get taxed to hell. We don't get taxed as much as some countries. But, I mean, we don't have to go outside and worry about, mortar shells falling on us. Not yet, at least. So, we gotta worry about gangbangers maybe shooting us, depending on where you live. But,
Just got a class.
But, you know what I'm saying? It's like, the American, whether you agree with war or not, I'm gonna save this gravy, you might dip them taquitos in it. Whether or not you agree with war or not, it's better to have it on foreign soil than here. You know what I mean? The last war we had here, excluding the LA riots, was the Civil War. And without the American military out there taking the fight to them when it's something that could threaten us eventually, we okay, so we got a breakfast taquito here, and this one's with bacon. Not wrapped very well, so, I mean, they're not Mexican, so. And I would actually reform welfare. I mean, granted, people need help. But it's a way of help, it's not a way of, it's not a way to live. It's like, if you can't have a term limit on welfare. I mean, if you can't get your shit together and get a job in, let's call it 2 years. If you can't get your shit together in 2 years, shame on you. I would help the disabled more, and I'd help the elderly more. But I don't care if you're black, white, yellow, green, purple. If you can't feed them, don't breed them. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be like, oh, let me have another kid because I could get another $100 on my check. I believe everybody has a hard time. I live in a hard time. I'm on disability. I've got a messed up back, messed up legs, messed up feet. But you know what? If I could go out and work, or if this YouTube channel ever panned out and I made money off of it, I would quit taking charity from disability and let somebody else get it. But any of my viewers that are on disability shouldn't feel ashamed. I did for a long time. Then I came to the realization, you know what? I paid into that. From the time I was 15 to the time I was, what, let's see, plus 4. Since I was, from the time I worked before I was of legal age to work, but I wasn't paying into the system because I was working like cutting grass and odd jobs around the neighborhood. But once I became of working legal age, I worked and I paid into that system with every paycheck to the age to 2008 when I went on disability. So I don't feel bad at all no more. It's the government that makes you feel bad because they're like, oh, we're not going to have Social Security money for the elderly or Social Security money for the disabled. You know what? If you worked, you paid for that. So you know what? To hell with the government making you feel bad. This is actually pretty good. Always just scrambled eggs and bacon on Mexican bread. I'm sorry I'm missing y'all's questions there. Let me give me a second to knock this out and then I'll address them real quick. So yeah, don't feel bad if you're on disability. I mean, I do, but you know what? It's hard not to. Get some of this picante sauce on here. It's a thick old picante sauce here. That biscuit was actually pretty good. Cheddar biscuit with jalapenos in it, dipped in that white sausage gravy. And don't think we're going to let that sausage gravy do the waste. We're going to eat it. We got a spoon here. We're going to eat it, yo. I mean, this was rather expensive here. For 2 taquitos, or breakfast tacos, and 1 biscuit and a cup of coffee. And the hash browns, one was a meal. The meal came with 1 of these, the hash browns and the coffee. The sausage and the biscuit was one price, and then 1 extra one of these was another price. Came out to $10.25, yo. And I mean, what was it? 1 biscuit, a cup of flavored water, some sausage gravy, maybe an egg on each one of these, 1 piece of Mexican bread, little sausage crumbles and bacon crumbles. That's high as giraffe nuts. But it was good. Another thing I would do if I got elected president, I don't smoke, but I would legalize the hell out of marijuana and tax the living crap out of it, like they tax alcohol. And I would find some of the smartest researchers in how to use it in the medicines. And if it was legalized into medical form, have your insurance have to pay for it. Recreational use would get taxed to hell. But it's better you paying your taxes on it than going to jail for it, right? What else would I do? I would also end the salary for life for I would Like, the president gets his salary for life. He gets Secret Service for him and his family for life. You know what? If you work for Walmart and you got fired or you quit after 4 years, Walmart's not going to pay you for the rest of your life. Walmart's not going to have somebody do your personal shopping for you for the rest of your life. You know, look after you for the rest of your life, insure you for the rest of your life. You know what? When you out of office, go get a job. You know, all of them have college education, so put it to use. Go get a job, you leeches. Quit making the elderly and the disabled feel like leeches. You know what I'm saying? Screw you guys. Term limits and limit the pay for life crap. And here's another one. Voting yourself a raise. If you work at Walmart, you can't go in there and say, hey, tomorrow instead of making $8 an hour, I'm making $20 an hour. Nope, that ain't happening. The raise should be, well, first of all, you're only in there for 2 years or 4 years. You know what I'm saying? So guess what? You get a cost of living raise, just like everybody else. Or you get a yearly review and put it to the taxpayers. Let them vote whether or not you get a raise. Because let's face it, when you're a politician, you aren't nothing more than a public servant. Just like, and I'd also have first responders paid more. Police that are putting themselves on the line every day to keep us safe here at home, while our military's out, the military get paid more. Teachers would get paid more. Because, I mean, let's face it, these teachers are putting up with your bratty ass kids. I mean, not everybody's kids are bratty ass, but you know what I'm saying. Kids these days disrespect the hell out of their teachers, disrespect the hell out of people in general. You know what I'm saying? White pepper gravy with sausage. I mean, how do you go wrong with that? So, another thing I would do, let's face it, after WW2, America lent money to the Germans to rebuild their streets in their country. If we ever have to go to war again, and we win, screw you, you lost, fix it yourself. And I'd also call in those loans to every European country that we loan money to. Yeah, make lobbying illegal. Keep corporate America. That's a good thing. Keep corporate America out of politics, because they just in it for themselves. You know what else I would do? I would tax the living crap out of religions and churches. I mean, the biggest landowner in America is the Catholic Church. I don't care if you believe in Buddha. I don't care if you believe in Allah, Jesus Christ, the God Almighty. I don't care if your religion's... There's a guy that has a religion, his name was Reverend Bud Green. Look him up. He worshiped marijuana. I don't care if you're him. You got a church and you want to talk bullshit, you want to put your 2 cents into the political ring, guess what? You're getting taxed. Because let's face it, churches ain't nothing more than a business under a tax-free shelter. There's a preacher here in Houston, Reverend Joel Osteen. His church is the Summit. That's where the freaking Rockets used to play basketball. Why do you need a church as big as a freaking basketball arena? How do you pay for all of that? And it's all tax-free. You know what? You get land tax like everybody else. You'd have to keep book records on how much money you took in from your contributors. Guess what? You get taxed on that too. Crooked bastard. I mean, I could say, hey, I believe in red beards. You know, let's worship red beards. Start a church of red beards. Can I get a tax exemption? I don't know, but I'm sure if you worked it right, you could. If you knew how to play and fuck the system. So why not? Tax them. Between taxing the churches and taxing marijuana use and calling in all of our loans that we loaned out to people, I mean, granted, we borrowed money from China, so we'd take the money that like Germany and Eastern Bloc European countries owe us and just give it back to the Chinese that we borrowed from. Balance the budget, and then once we got to the point of not owing anybody, screw everybody. Take care of America first, everything else comes second. Treat America like a family. If you're in a family, and you're in a tight-knit family, you're going to take care of your father, your mother, your children, your brothers and sisters before you take care of your neighbors, right? It's always nice to help your neighbors, but you're going to take care of your family first. So treat America like it's a family. And as far as, let me bring y'all in closer so I could read all this. What's up, EJ? So let me bring y'all in closer here so I could read these comments. Let me scroll back a little bit here. Yeah, you're right there, big boy. They all getting their pockets lined. What did I do prior to disability? I worked for a paint company, paint manufacturing company, and I used to work in the tint department. I was a color specialist. I used to match colors, and then I went from there into manufacturing. I did the color stuff for 15 years, and then for the last 2-3 years, I was in manufacturing. Yep. Lobbying illegal, Big Red for minister. I don't want to be a minister. I want to be a politician. I don't even want to be a politician. I just want to be the president. The problem is there are too many power and money-hungry politicians. Exactly correct. They all in it for the power and the bullshit. And then let's see. Yeah, we are on the path of self-destruction in America here, without doubt. And the reason why is because the government has us looking at different social orders, different racial orders. So they'll have you looking at the black man being like, oh, that's a criminal, that's this, that's that. And then they're looking at you like, oh, they just hate us, whatever. Meanwhile, we're looking at each other, fighting each other over stupidity, and the government's robbing us all blind, running amok. We should have our eyes on them. We should unite as people and keep our eye on the government. Hold them accountable. And if I was president, that's what I would do. I would make them be held accountable. You know, I mean, it's just ridiculous what government gets away with. Let's see, I would, yeah, exactly. I would think our forefathers are doing backflips in their grave right now when it came to this crap. You know, I think part of the reason why America hasn't been invaded yet by some military force, besides the fact that we've got one of the most strong military presence on the planet, I would have to say at least 7 out of 10 households have a gun in it. And, you know, if it push came to shove, America would unite, and I think they would fight for the freedom of their own country. It'd be like Red Dawn, you know what I mean? Because American households are armed to the teeth, a lot of them. Maybe not 7 out of 10. Let's be a little conservative. Let's say 6 out of 10. A little more than half of America is armed. So there's that. But yeah, it's like some of the crap that's been done is ridiculous. But yeah, I would definitely term limits for everybody. Let the American people vote if you get a raise or not. No salaries for life. Screw that. You know, it's just ridiculous what. And the American people, when it falls for their crap. And then how about this? How about you think about this? I would either get rid of sales tax everywhere or get rid of income tax. One or the other. Get rid of one. And it probably wouldn't be get rid of sales tax, because everybody buys something. Regardless if you're making your money illegally or if you're making your money legally. You're going to buy something. You're buying gas. You're buying cars. You're buying food. So I would keep sales tax. Get rid of income tax. Why? Because if you think about this, right now, Americans are getting double taxed. You're getting taxed on the money you bring in, and you're getting taxed on the money you are spending. And basically, okay, so the way business works is you pay tax on stuff you buy. The company you just bought that stuff for has to turn that money over to the government. And some of it's to your local government, some of it's, I mean, it's portioned off. You know, the federal government gets so much, the state government gets so much, the city government gets so much. And I don't know, every place is broken down differently. And I would let the cities determine up to a certain percentage of what they can tax. The state gets a certain percentage. And then the feds would get a certain percentage. And it would be, you know, if they had to raise taxes for that, put it to a vote. Be transparent. More transparency in the government. But think about it. You're getting paid. You're getting paid to do a job, and you're getting taxed on that money that you bring home. Then you're getting taxed when you go to the grocery store. You're getting taxed when you go to restaurants. You're getting taxed. So the business takes that money and gives it over to the government. And then, in turn, the company is paying taxes on the money other than what was brought in from taxes. So they're paying taxes on the money that you just paid. So money's getting taxed all over the damn place. And let's face it, this country was founded for a few reasons. Religious freedom, no taxation without representation. That's what started the Boston Tea Party. Them crazy fools dumped a bunch of tea in the damn ocean. You know what I mean? So when people start to realize that they're getting screwed, they're not even getting that first date or a kiss. They're just getting anally raped. And there's no such thing as rape. Rape doesn't exist. Rape's nothing more than surprise sex. And when you're getting surprise sex by somebody you don't want to be surprise sex by, you got a problem. So, there's so much that could be done, should be done, but as long as you have crooked politicians and businessmen running the country, it'll never happen. So that's why I suggest you, your ma, your pa, your greasy grandma, all of y'all go to the ballot box, type in Corey Dempsey, aka Big Red, for president. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Until then, all of y'all take care of one another. We only get one time around on this big blue rock floating in the darkness of space around a big flaming ball of gas. So don't take it for granted. You're here today, you could be gone tomorrow. Enjoy life, take care of one another, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.